Picture this, the Wild West, but with movie theaters on every dusty street corner. Cowboys aren't dueling over cattle, they're dueling over who gave the new movie a bad review. Instead of, "This town ain't big enough for the both of us," you'd hear, "This theater ain't big enough for bad sequels." The real Wild West was gritty, chaotic, and full of gunfights, gambling, and very questionable hygiene. But what if, right in the middle of all that, cinema had already been invented? Instead of living the stories we now see in westerns, people would be sitting down and watching them, with a bucket of jerky and a bottle of whiskey. Going to the movies would have been different. Forget cushy seats. You're stuck on a creaky wooden chair with a spring stabbing you in the back. And instead of surround sound, you've got some guy in the corner making pew-pew noises with his mouth because he's never actually heard a laser. If a gun goes off on screen, the entire audience ducks for cover and 3 guys return fire at the projector. Congratulations, you've just invented 4D cinema. And the snacks? No popcorn. Nope. You're gnawing on beef jerky so tough it doubles as a weapon if a bar fight breaks out, and washing it down with a shot of whiskey that's 90% lighter fluid. And of course, there's always that one cowboy who can't shut up. The second the movie starts, he's yelling, "Don't go in the barn, dude. The barn scene hasn't even happened yet. Chill." Now, what kind of movies would cowboys even watch? You'd think westerns, but no. People in the Wild West wanted escape just like we do. Imagine cowboys watching sci-fi. Aliens show up on screen and half the theater empties out to go check the sky. A rom-com? Cowboys shaking their heads like, "He bought her flowers? Should have given her a cow." More practical. Horror movies would be even worse. First jump scare and 10 revolvers go off at once. At that point, the scariest part isn't the movie. It's sitting in the theater. But here's the best part. Celebrity culture. Outlaws wouldn't just want to rob trains. They'd want to star in movies about robbing trains. Gossip in the saloon would totally change. Instead of, "Did you hear Jesse robbed another train?" It's, "Did you hear Jesse bombed at the box office?" Critics say he lacks screen presence. And autographs? Forget Sharpies. Cowboys would straight up brand their fans' autograph books. There you go, kid. An authentic signature and third-degree burns. Treasure it. Movie premieres would be chaos too. No red carpet, just a muddy road with everyone showing up on horses. Paparazzi? Nope. Picture a frantic sketch artist waving a drawing saying, "I'm not sure which one is the lead and which one is the stuntman." And the culture shift? Huge. Instead of bar fights over poker hands, you'd get bar fights over whether movies are the new gospel. Cowboys with notebooks would pop up everywhere, pretending to be critics. 2 stars. Needed more horses. Pacing was slower than a mule in July. Sequels would get out of control fast. Posters would say things like, "Stagecoach Fast and Furious 7, Giddy Up or Die." And yes, cowboys would still argue about remakes. The original was better. The remake had better horses. Some arguments never change. Imagine a duel at high noon, not over stolen cattle, but over top billing. The tension builds. Tumbleweed rolls by, and instead of pulling pistols, both cowboys whip out scripts. "This role's mine, partner." Boom. Oscar-worthy showdown. And if movies had really existed back then, history would have played out completely differently. Outlaws would fight for box office records instead of banks. Sheriffs would shut down theaters for showing films that were too violent. While outside the theater, an actual gunfight was happening. Cowboys would stop robbing stagecoaches and start scalping tickets. The biggest robbery? Ticket prices. In the end, maybe it's for the best cinema showed up later, because the Wild West was already cinematic in its own right, full of drama, action, and larger-than-life characters. Hollywood didn't need to be there. Hollywood just needed to steal the stories later and add explosions. But still, it's fun to imagine. Cowboys throwing popcorn instead of punches, saloons doubling as box offices, critics arguing that a movie didn't have enough horse representation, and the first spoiler fight ending with 2 guys in the street yelling, "You just ruined the ending, Jedediah," before firing into the air. So yeah, if movies had existed during the Wild West, the frontier wouldn't just be wild, it would be cinematic. And if you had fun riding along with this little what if, go ahead and hit that subscribe button.